Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about food and entrepreneurship. And in this case, those worlds combine into chocolates and amazingness. That's why we're here with our friend, Phillip Ashley. He is the founder and CEO of Phillip Ashley Chocolates. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. Thanks, Jeremy, for having me. This is awesome.
Absolutely. You and I have known each other for a long time, and you do amazing good on the chocolates. You do amazing good on helping other entrepreneurs. And so we've got a lot to unpack, but let's start with a little bit of your journey, because your journey is so awesome when you talk about how you got into this business of being a chocolatier.
Yes. Actually, and so I met you literally right when I was launching the business, even before we actually had our first space. So Johnny Pitts and all of that were literally one of my first customers, you guys. And so have been involved with you for a long time. So got started just in, had a crazy dream. This started back in 2007 and, had a lot of just, let's make chocolate. Let me figure this out. Let me do something different. Let me have fun with it. And like I said, woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, living in Baltimore. I was working in the corporate world, much like you, and wanted to figure out how could I merge food with art, creativity, and ultimately the consumer packaged goods world. And that's really how chocolate came about. It was like, I wanted to flex my kind of chef muscles, if you will, and dive more into that world, but I didn't want to do, the restaurant side of business. I wanted to kind of explore what my background in making products, developing products, designing packages, and packaging. And so that's ultimately where chocolate came from, is like, how do I merge my passion for food and create some kind of entrepreneurial journey that was different too. I was like, well, how cool would it be to say, I'm a chocolatier? And it just kind of started there, and then it became an obsession, dove deep into learning everything about chocolate, about the industry, globally, even cocoa and where it all comes from, and the history and the art and the science. Put all those things together, and just kind of progressively developed it over a handful of years. So by the time you and I met in 2011 or so, 2012, really, for the first time, I at that point packaged what it was that we were doing. And so my first approach was, okay, let's work with businesses, because, well, if I can get an insurance company, for example, to send our chocolates to their clients and vendors, et cetera, that helps put us out there a lot quicker than kind of 1, 2, 3 selling chocolates. And so, yeah, that was my kind of reverse guerrilla marketing approach to the sales side of it, but wanted to do something different in chocolate, and that's really what we focus on, a very kind of high level niche segment of the industry where we're really fusing a lot of flavors and a lot of unique kind of storytelling aspects into each piece.
Yeah, and I think the way I look at it, just like you're talking about, it's art and creativity and this, flavors coming together. And it's also to science, because to your point, you've got to be able to ship these around the world, and temperature control, like all these kind of things that go into it that you might not think about. But you cover such a wide landscape in terms of being an entrepreneur. So let's go ahead and dive in, because when you talk about Phillip Ashley Chocolates, how do you describe Phillip Ashley Chocolates now in terms of what you do and all these amazing flavors?
Yeah, so simply put, a luxury designer chocolatier. And what we do, all of our chocolates are handcrafted right here in Memphis. I develop the formulas, the recipes, and it's really, capturing what's in season, kind of what's going on in the world today, storytelling, my experiences, my encounters, my endeavors even, and trying to merge all of those things into a bonbon, and then focused on luxury presentation with our packaging. We're even in the midst of evolving and revamping in a bit of in sorts of the brand. So changing, the chocolate molds, new packaging, new brand colors to really elevate even. And so the focus going forward is truly, exclusivity and luxury.
Tease us a little bit with some of your best sellers, some of your favorites, and then some of the, most creative versions.
Yeah. Well, and some of those kind of even merge. So the French blue cheese is probably one of our most popular and well-known flavors. And so it's been around for a long time. It's definitely a customer favorite, a fan favorite, if you will. We probably sell the most of that flavor in the sense of it's always featured in most of our boxes. Even when we do business gifting, that's often requested because it really kind of encapsulates who we are. If you want, if a single piece could kind of narrate who we are as a brand, taking something like a very high-end blue cheese, and then the fact that we're putting blue cheese in chocolate and white chocolate on top of that, which are things that you wouldn't think that would go together. And furthermore, people that aren't blue cheese fans, like if you say, well, I would never eat blue cheese on anything else, those are often the biggest lovers of that chocolate, which is it's counterintuitive and unexpected in a lot of ways, but the people who love it the most would never eat blue cheese in any other format. So, and that as a whole, so our Taste of Memphis is a real big popular collection, and particularly, now the way we release it. So it'll be around during May, with Memphis in May, and the world is really kind of focused on Memphis in that sense. And so all the elements that barbecue, Elvis, Stacks, and on are all kind of represented in that collection. And so then we do just things seasonally. So the Taste of America is a big one that we do that's around for the summer, and it's all about the 50 states of the country. The boxes looks like the American flag. It has the preamble of the Constitution inscribed in it. Each of the pieces have the state emblazoned on it in gold. And so, Louisiana tastes like Banana Foster, California tastes like red wine, Kentucky is bourbon, and so on and on. Ohio is pawpaw. And so it even kind of teaches you, it's like, well, if you haven't been to these states, you at least get a sense of what, is kind of popular from a food or a flower or a state fruit or something like that. Delaware is, scrapple, which is a big thing. So we figure out, well, how can we turn something that's very, very unique to a certain place and then make it more universal in flavor and translate it to even be good in chocolate. And so that's essentially how we break things down conceptually. It's like, well, what story are we trying to tell? Okay, what are the components or the chapters, if you will, to this story? And then how do we break those things down and distill it truly into ingredients that then combine into a singular piece that you say, okay, well, I understand what he's saying and I can relate to this, and it tastes amazing. So all those things go into what we do and how I compose our collections, be it the Taste of Memphis or be it what we're going to do for the holiday this year in our Bad Santa box. It's kind of like a more playful, fun version of what we used to do often in the Advent calendar. This is just going to be a 25-piece collection. And it's going to be holiday flavors that either infuse with, the whiskeys or the tequilas of brands that we're working with, or spicy chocolate. So a spiked eggnog or a spicy cranberry sauce. So it won't be the typical flavors. And we're going to paint all the pieces to look like little pieces of coal. And on the inside of like, look who made the naughties list. So this will be the first time that people will want to be on the naughty list, because this box of chocolate is going to be awesome.
So obviously you're having a ton of fun creating these. I mean, you could just tell by the passion, right? But how much of it is like pushing the envelope, like finding things that might not go together just to like, push it a little bit further
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dare to experiment versus like, oh, let's try these sort of things and just, from a concoction standpoint, talk about a little bit of the method behind the madness on that side.
Yeah, and that is a good bit of what it is that we do and what we're known for is pushing the envelope. Again, very niche in terms of our approach to flavor profiles, very authentic and very unique in terms of, we're not doing more of the straightforward. And that's always been the approach. It's like even with the barbecue chocolate from Memphis, it's like, well, we're known for barbecue, but how do we make that a chocolate kind of thing? And so it's putting those two things together. So researching, tons of time of studying food, ingredients, who's got the great barbecue in Memphis, how do we kind of tell all of that in one piece? So we're not necessarily leaving it, or how is that as from a global sense, if you will, sourcing the best ingredients from all over, from the couverture or the chocolate that we're using to create the pieces, where we're getting our sugar, where we're getting our cream, and even down to the husbandry of the cows that the cream is coming from. And so we're even thinking from a green and a sustainability aspect, fair trade on our cocoa and chocolate, the treatment of the animals that go into the production of certain things that we're doing. So all of that is even a part of the story and a part of the composition of each of the chocolates that we do, and that even kind of resonates. And again, the kind of avant-garde or unique aspect of our flavors. And so that's kind of been the approach. And now, my focus is really kind of amplifying that, and even scaling back a little bit to scale up more, because again, we're amplifying the extreme amount, because a lot of time I put in tons of hours of literally just studying, research, and reading all the time to figure out, well, how can we make this holiday box something that you're not going to get anywhere else? And on top of that, make it where the quality, the flavor, and all of that is just mind-blowing.
Well, and you've become a celebrity for Memphis too, because you're doing award shows, you're doing huge events. So you're putting, not only Phillip Ashley Chocolates, but Memphis on stage, literally internationally. And so to your point, you've got to be able to scale to that level when you talk about working with celebrities in these sort of events. Give us maybe a little bit of that world in terms of just some of the cool things that you've had a chance to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate and blessed to be able to do things like the Emmys, the Grammys, Oscars, all of those. Hopefully we'll do the Tonys and have that coveted EGOT, if you will. Those are really cool because it gets us, much like I said earlier, when we were able to work with Lipscomb Pitts, it puts us in a large crowd faster, and so we get to showcase what we do, where we're from, how even, because it's always like, well, you're in Memphis, how are you getting it out here? It's like, well, we have this thing called FedEx over here, so you may have heard of it, but so all of those components again allow us to showcase where we're from, who we're working with, what we're doing. And then, things even like today where we're working and partnering with Cadillac. And so, a lot of companies will call on us to, create products that they're able to use in their marketing initiatives when they show up to the US Open, or if they're going to ABFF for film festivals, or wherever they're popping up in the things that they sponsor and the things that they're celebrating and the people that they're celebrating. We send chocolates, or if they're like, hey, we want to know what the Celestic, which is their ultra luxury EV, their electrical vehicle. And so, make a box of chocolates that really captures the essence of the fact that this vehicle is fully customizable. It's a total one-of-one situation. I mean, all the way from the paint, the interior, it's insane, how customizable this thing is. And so they wanted chocolates that kind of told that story. So, be it, the award shows or large brands, or even small, all the way to small businesses who want to thank clients, all the way over to hotels, which is an area we're really starting to step into, and working with hotels like Montage and so on. So we're able to produce turn downs or gift shop amenities and things of that nature that again put us in other rooms, literally in that sense, with people that would have otherwise never heard of us.
You mentioned the summer, you've got Mother's Day. I mean, you've got a lot of kind of special opportunities. So now that we've got everybody hungry and ready for some chocolates, go ahead and talk about the actual, how do we start taking next steps?
Yeah, so next step. So Mother's Day is the next thing that's coming up, real important holiday for everyone. And so we have created a chocolate for brunch a kind of collection. So things that you would literally encounter in brunch, whether it's French toast or a Bloody Mary. We're doing a blood orange mimosa and things of those natures. And so a nice 24-piece collection. And then for the summer, our Taste of America box will be featured on the website. And then our signature collection is always available. We kind of release that. What we're doing now is sending out information. So if you go to phillipashleychocolates.com, one of the things that asks you is to enter your number, because we can text you when, hey, this collection's available now, and we offer it in a limited quantity. So we're able to better control the quality and manage getting it out. So that was one of the challenges that I had to figure out. How do we ensure that we're able to get the product to the people in a timely manner within a short range of time when they order? So right now, pre-orders for Mother's Day is happening, but we've already begun, and by the time Mother's Day is here, those chocolates will already have been made, packed, and we'll just start shipping them out a week ahead. So you get them in time. You can take them to mom or the mother figure or wife or whomever you're trying to celebrate, whether it's local or abroad. So we ship again. And same thing with the holiday. We're just planning things out. And so the easiest way is whether you're following us on Instagram at Phillip Ashley Chocolates or on our website. That's the most efficient way to understand and learn about what we have coming up.
And touch on for companies, just like you were talking about with Cadillac, for companies that say, hey, I want to start doing, these sort of amazing gifting opportunities for client gifts, for promo. There's so many ways you can use Phillip Ashley Chocolates. How do they start engaging?
And simply by gift at Phillip, GIFT at phillipashley.com. And so, we do everything from, smaller quantities, just using our signature boxes, to larger bulk items and so we have special business packages for that, all the way to fully customized. Look, we want our own packaging design, we want our own flavors. So we have something for everything, from agencies to major enterprises, in everything in between. And so just emailing us at gift at Phillip Ashley or going to phillipashleychocolates.com and filling out the form on there. So.
Yeah. Well, literally good stuff. We're huge fans, have been since the very beginning. Absolutely amazing chocolates, and what you're doing for Memphis and everything beyond, and other entrepreneurs. You're just a source of inspiration. So Phillip Ashley, thank you for all you do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.